Hello, welcome. David here from Blitz Breakdown. That is a South African accent, if you were wondering. That is where I live. I live in South Africa. And it's one of the hardest accents to do, actually. If you ask an American or somebody outside of South Africa to do this accent, they can't. They can't do it properly. You might be thinking, Leonardo DiCaprio in Blood Diamond. It was a good effort. But, you know, it falls short, is what happens. Very difficult accent to do. But if you hear it all the time, because I grew up, around Afrikaans people, they speak like this, which I really enjoy. I appreciate the Afrikaans English accent. So, today, 10 games have been played. I've won 5, I've lost 2, I've drawn 3. That is a disproportionately high amount of draws. But today is day 11. I was quite happy with the draw yesterday, considering I was sort of behind most of the time. But today we're going to be playing a 3-minute game with a 2-second increment, as always. We're up to 1883, and we're going to try and win this one, as always. So, without any further ado, let's break down with David. Journey to beat a Grandmaster, day 11. Let's get this party started. Yes! I'm still flying high after South Africa won the rugby. Okay, so we're playing against some guy from Canada, New Wanda Fish. We're going to go with our standard French variation. All right, now, Queen to C7. This is the engine's move, and I'm going to play the engine's move, even though I struggle a little bit. This move, Knight to B5, or that move, the engine just says you move back to B8, and now you play A6. That's the idea. Just moving back. So let's stick to what the engine says. The engine can't be wrong. Bishop to B4. I think this is also the normal continuation, but I'm trying to figure out if I need to play knight. I could probably actually just develop and then play bishop to B4. Although now he can actually play A3. He or she can play A3. Not too concerned about that move. And yeah, now what my plan is, I guess castling kingside is not as attractive as it was like 1 second ago. But I'm not too concerned. I'm still not concerned. Okay, now maybe I have queen to E5. No. Doesn't really do anything. Maybe knight to E5 is better, attacking this bishop. Or actually even stronger, it's just driving the bishop back. Let's do this. Okay, fair enough. I can develop the bishop to B7. Can jump in with the knight. Only problem with jumping in the... No, this is probably okay. Can even play H5. Let's play knight here. If he attacks my knight though, then what is my plan exactly? Okay, let's just retreat my bishop. Yeah, F4. Maybe I didn't really think this one through. Okay, now I can play H5, and I'm kind of hoping he plays F4, because now I have an outpost for my knight, and if he plays H3, I might even just ignore it, leave my knight there, because after takes, I still have this checkmating threat on H2. So I actually like the fact that he's castled. It's made things much more definitive. Rook to G8 is coming. Maybe I just play this immediately. He'll probably want to... But you know what the issue is that this to cut off the mating threat. Then I jump in and I fork the queen and the rook. And he's kind of forced to play this move, which I'm not unhappy to see, because now I can take control of the light squares. Maybe even just bust through immediately. Sacrifice. Let's see. If I immediately play H4, I'm wanting to like open things up immediately. Just sort of take initiative. Or maybe better is bishop to B6. Now if he plays this. Takes, and then I have some threats, even though the knight is here. Let's go this way. I might actually... Wow. Makes sense. I shouldn't be too shocked by that move. Okay. Alright, now I've just got so much heat heading along. Not like that. Those arrows were not good. A lot of heat. He doesn't have too much in the ways of a counterattack. So he would really like to try and get this knight out of the equation. Which makes sense. I'm actually not unhappy to see that move. I can move back. The other thing is that this knight, if it ever moves, I can actually capture this pawn. But I don't... maybe this is better. Oh, yeah, this is much better. This is much better. Okay, here's the threat. I'm going to play knight to g6. If he takes my knight, I'm not going to capture back. I'm immediately going to capture on g3 with check. Didn't see that. I didn't see that. I'm going to ignore this pawn. Looks a little crazy, but I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to allow the check, and then I'm going to play king to e7. And hope. Can't play that. If he moves back here, I'm going to capture on g3. Yeah. Really, really hoping he feels a little freaked out by the idea of playing queen to f3 because my bishop's over here, which even though my bishop's here is probably the best move, queen to f3. No other way of defending this, is there? Okay, now I think I just win. We just double check, I'm not blundering. Yeah, mate in 2. Mate in 1 now. That was extremely satisfying. Unless I've missed something. Oh, this is bad. He has to move his king and then I'm taking on h3 and it's mate. I haven't missed anything, I don't think. Yeah, okay, he resigns. Wants a rematch. Sorry, man, I'm not going to offer the rematch. So that would be the finishing kill. Let's take a look, because I feel like even though that was a pretty finish, I feel like I wasn't quite as on the border. Engine loves it. Okay. Engine loves it. 90% accuracy. That's great, man. That makes me feel better. Okay, what's better here? Better way to move the bishop to safety. Is it just moving back here? This is probably more solid. Bishop to c5. Okay. Anyway, this looked all good. Arranging my bishops. And then here, f5. Okay. Ah, yeah, just trying to kind of open things up for the light square bishop. But I was really just focusing on trying to get this queen takes g3 move on the board. Yeah, and I didn't think it was that big of a deal, just moving my king. And then this was a complete disaster. But the thing here, which I completely ignore, is the fact that he can capture over here with his queen. But it doesn't seem that much of a threat now, because I can just take his knights. His knight is hanging, after all. This, not a meaningful threat. Yeah, and taking here is a train wreck. Because the whole problem is that you need to deal with this. So I was thinking just queen to... knight to d5. Oh, yeah. Okay, so sacrificing. But I probably... oh, yeah, I have to take. Queen to g4. Queen to g4. Guarding the very loose g3 pawn. Okay, so that was his way out. But then this was just a huge blunder. Wow, okay. Very happy with the way that went. So we are up to 1888 after that game, and that's day 11. Feeling good. I'm wanting to get back to 2000. I think if I can start heading above 2000, get some confidence going, I feel like I'm going to be able to get closer to that goal. So let me know in the comments your thoughts on the game, and I will see you all tomorrow.